Horizon Forbidden West is a role-playing game that was released in early 2022. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of the western United States that has been overtaken by a deadly epidemic, and it is a sequel to 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. The player can explore the open environment and perform tasks while fighting dangerous machine creatures with a range of different weapons. Horizon Forbidden West was released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and received generally positive reviews. Stick around to find out some of the best gamer reactions to Horizon Forbidden, along with details of the game. First up, players love the soundtrack. Gamers are well aware that soundtracks are important, and that a good game is frequently accompanied by good music, as Horizon Zero Dawn's calming soundtrack demonstrates. Guerrilla Games, the developers of the game, appear to have nailed the musical aspect once again as the story of Aloy unfolds in his intriguing new chapter. Horizon Forbidden West's music always hits just right. According to one Twitter user who is a fan of the game, the user posted out a video of many amazing tiny epic moments and added, "Love this game," a sentiment mirrored by many other players. Next, the graphics are very much appreciated. Along with the great soundtrack, some users were astonished to discover themselves appreciating the characters even more than before, which was one of the things fans expected from Horizon Forbidden West. One player commented after finishing the game, "Who would have imagined I could possibly adore Aaron Van Guardsman even more than they did at the start of Forbidden West." The user is one of several who are praising Guerrilla Games for their excellent storytelling once again and the level of graphics in the sequel. Truly amazing. Up next, gamers believe it's just as good as Elden Ring. While some gamers believe Elden Ring is better than the Horizon sequel, others believe Forbidden West is the best video game released this year so far. One gamer on Twitter put an end to the debate in a simple tweet, explaining that both Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring are excellent games in their own way. The user said, sharing posters from both titles, "Whether you agree or disagree, the point has been made, and players are encouraged to participate in both games, especially if you are a fan of storytelling games with awesome graphics." Some users are bombing the game for very strange reasons. Here's why. Horizon fans have been very vocal about Aloy's new experience and the comparisons to other iconic games, sharing their comments on Twitter. However, as is common with new releases, Forbidden West has received some negative feedback. Nothing has caused its Metacritic score to plummet, but it is still far from a perfect score. The Horizon prequel's PS5 version presently has 818 unfavorable reviews online. So if you're still unsure whether to buy a copy, look into what some of the folks who gave it zeros and ones out of tens have to say. The gameplay has been criticized by some, perhaps a reasonable criticism depending on whether you love gameplay that is quite subjective. Other reviews, on the other hand, criticize Forbidden West's graphics, which seem nitpicky at best. Even on the PS4 version of the game, which also has received a slew of poor and unfair reviews, the overall consensus is that Forbidden West's visuals are quite spectacular. The review that emphasized Aloy's beauty and Forbidden West's apparent woke worldview and desire to be politically correct are the icing on the cake, and seem to be extremely unfair. One player refers to Aloy as a bearded woman, and uses this to justify for skipping the game instead of playing Elden Ring. To be clear, Aloy does not have a beard. However, it's unclear why possessing one would even be enough to prevent anyone from participating in a game. The player is one of a select few who has been objected to Forbidden West's high level of detail, which allows you to see Aloy's facial hair if you zoom in close enough. By the way, practically every human on Earth, regardless of gender, possesses facial hair. If near-perfect graphics and a female heroine that looks too much like a real woman aren't your thing, then maybe Forbidden West isn't for you. But in all honesty, that's a ridiculous reason not to even try that game out. Even if you disagree with such behavior, giving a game a 0 out of 10 for those reasons seems excessive. Just another timely reminder, whether you're buying a game or not, to check some user reviews before making a choice based only on the stats, as some gamers love to rate down games based purely on these superficial aspects. Next, how critics reviewed the game. So, we have heard what games have to say about the game, but what about the professional critics online? Well, according to review aggregator Metacritic, Horizon Forbidden West garnered generally positive reviews on PlayStation 5, while the PlayStation 4 version received universal acclaim. Pretty impressive, right? The impact of the game, increased landscape, story, and objectives were, however, disputed by critics. One critic hailed Horizon Forbidden West as a successful open-world game and a tolerable alternative to Witcher 3's less forgiving gameplay. The game's open environment, on the other hand, was described as overwhelming by Dan Silver, a professional critic for The Telegraph. Another critic online compared the game positively to the first in the series in a separate and PR review, stating that it continues the achievements of its predecessor, while trying to improve upon them in every aspect. The ethos for Horizon Forbidden West's development appears to be, make everything larger, better, and more beautiful, wrote Jason Schreiner in a review for Bloomberg. At launch, some critics highlighted flaws ranging from minor annoyances to issues that caused the game to crash, or the critics to lose their saves. However, as you can see, for the most part, this game has been received extremely well by practically everyone. Next, Horizon Forbidden West gameplay explained. Horizon Forbidden West is a third-person action role-playing game set in the western states of the United States. In a world that is overrun by violent, animalistic machines, the player controls the character of Aloy, who happens to be a hunter. So what about gameplay specifics? Well, the map is bigger than it was in the previous game, and it's full of hidden secrets that players uncover throughout. Among the many recognizable sites is the wrecked San Francisco and the Yosemite Valley. Also, quests placed throughout the game have a much better mission structure that supports a wider range of objectives and more attractive reward systems. The game's animation and cinematics have also been drastically improved. Also, with both hostile machine animals and a range of human villains, the game relies heavily on melee combat. Aloy engages with her enemies using a range of tools and stealth skills, as well as numerous new weapons like the Shredder, a discus that can be captured and reused before being detonated, and berserk arrows, which can actually influence robots to battle one another without Aloy having to do anything or intervene. Apex machines are also introduced in the sequel. They happen to be much stronger and faster versions of the regular machines that cannot be overridden, making for more exciting and challenging gameplay. Will there be a third game in the series? Finally, although it's still early days, fans have been wondering, will there be a third installment? Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West have been hugely popular games thus far. Since its release in February 2022, Forbidden West has received a slew of great reviews, and it has become a PlayStation must-have. Fans hypothesized at the end of Zero Dawn that there would be a sequel, but we couldn't be sure for a while. Years later, news of Forbidden West surfaced, confirming what so many fans of the franchise had been hoping for. Does this imply that the second game will have its own sequel? We believe so, and here's why. So far, no one has announced anything about a third game in the franchise, but there are hints towards the game's conclusion that point to one. Warning, spoilers ahead. Tilda Vandermeer, just before the final boss encounter, reveals that she is a member of the Far Zenith, a group of ultra-wealthy people who left Earth for a new colony called Sirius, just before the planet perished. Because of all of this fresh information, Aloy recognizes that the war is far from over. Even if Far Zenith is no longer a threat to Earth by the end of the game, their return to the planet signals that there is an even greater threat on the way. Aloy speaks to Elizabeth Sobek in a monologue at the end of the game, telling her that they still have one more fight to win. So, if there's going to be another big fight, there has to be a new game, right? It only makes sense. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Horizon Forbidden West and some gamers and critics' reactions to the new game release. Regardless of whether you love or hate the game, it has definitely made waves within the gaming community and continues to impress so many of its players. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Have you played the game yet? What did you think about it? Let us know below. But if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.